Hey guys, another ranked match. This one is on Dry Arabia. We're going against Black, who is the Delhi Sultanate. Last couple of days, the game got patched and matchmaking has been pretty buggy, so I haven't played very much. But we did hop on a couple games today. We did lose a game to a Roost player, just barely. And here we're playing against Delhi. So against Delhi, I kind of want to always do my horseman rush. The longer you can slow them down, the better, I feel like. A little bit of mess up here in terms of our idle time. I go 2 on wood, have enough wood for a horseman. Pulling the sheep in close to the sea. Building 2 villagers in queue. Gur isn't really necessary in this case because we have our gold mine. We are going to send it down here to pick up this sheep. And we are sending our Khan to go scout our opponent immediately. If we check out our opponent, Black, he has gone 2 scouts. And he is picking up a bunch of sheep here. And if we look here, he misses these 3 sheep, which is kind of unfortunate for him. So, a little bit unlucky on his part. And then we see him dropping. He's just going to villagers here. And we bump in. We see him building the house. We see him building the mining camp. And we know he's going to go for gold now. He's scouting over here. And he does. I don't know if he does scout the horseman. Like, I know he saw it, but I'm not sure if he actually saw it or not. See the stable here, and he knows we're heading over now. We have our horseman. We have a scouting queue, and we mess up a little bit in terms of our macro game here. So we know where the gold is at. So we're gonna keep scouting as much as we can with our Khan until our horseman gets there. So far, our worker eco is going okay. We transition one of our villagers from wood onto gold. And we get our horseman over here to start doing some damage. So, he's got 130 gold, so he only needs a couple more turn-ins here. We were able to chase him off, but then we kind of messed up and we clicked onto the building. So we lose a bit of aggro here. So we do re-aggro our horseman properly. And we start damaging this, which he pulls back. And then we're working on this villager. And the scout is going to show up and is going to start working on that scout. And we're still scouting over here. So he's trying to just kind of fast collect gold here. Let's watch the whole map real quick. He hasn't sent anybody else out. And so we're burning this down. We do know that there's the possibility of more gold collected elsewhere. And we do have a horseman out. So we've delayed his age of time significantly at this point. Leave our horseman here to keep presence on this gold mine. And we are rotating our scout around to find other sources of gold. And we find this one up here. And the horseman is over here. Our Khan at this point was way down here. You can see here we're messing up our villager macro. So I was doing a bunch of stuff. I haven't played in a couple days, and lately I think just the lack of play, getting kind of sloppy in my gameplay. So this is a lot of time that my macro for my villagers were down, which is pretty big. 100% a full villager, maybe 2 villagers could have been built at this during this time here. So big mistakes here. And yeah, he still hasn't gone for gold, so you can tell that we've delayed his age of time significantly here. And then I was pretty sure I spotted these villagers moving from this wood line. I'd seen them move. And so I'm pretty sure I pulled my scout back. I thought I pulled it back. Maybe I didn't. I sent these guys over. So we sent these guys over, and he they didn't gather any gold. But where's he gathering gold then? He's got 215 gold. Oh, on the front. So when we rotated off of there, he pulled villagers here and he mass collected. So that was a good move by him. A little bit of a distraction, and we went for the distraction, and he collected gold on his front. So definitely a good move by him. There. So he's starting to get his age up now at 437, which is usually the timing when he's usually already aged up. We also have kind of a late age up time, mostly because we messed up our macro, so it's Mostly just because we had the sloppy gameplay on our part because we didn't go super heavy on military. We've got a con and two or a scout and two horsemen, so it's more of our I guess two scouts, but it's mostly because we messed up our macro for so long, and we're gonna kind of see that kind of pattern throughout this game, unfortunately. So at this point, I know he's aging up here, and we're not gonna super commit hard because it's not gonna do much if we get sniped out. I think we came up to burn the mining camp a little bit, but that was about it. Here's his barrack. He's kind of burning down over here. We're gonna build a horseman down here to retaliate. And yeah, we're just kind of picking away at this, not doing a lot of damage. We pulled our scout off with the gold since we know he's got enough to age up. Over here, our horseman's almost ready. Villager count is kind of stabilizing finally in the TC. Excuse me. And here comes the first spearman. So spearman's gonna kind of attack us, and we're gonna pull back out of here. No sense in fighting that. We do, we're getting pressed down here, so we're gonna kill this scout with 100% secure the kill with the returning Cal forces. After this outpost, we're gonna build an archery range. To take that guy out, and we're just kind of picking up on this guy. His military, he's getting a stable out right now, and he's got the barracks. He does have a skull in there, so he can produce his spearmen super fast at 7 seconds. So he's going to start cranking out units here shortly. Us, on the other hand, we have a pretty heavy on wood eco right now. Just a little bit troubling. It's usually not the best. We over pursue the scout, I'd say. If anything, we should have stayed for that final hit. But no biggie. When we pull out, we don't lose any guys here. I think we lost one scout from earlier on, unless he's scouting elsewhere. No, yeah, he's over here. And our con is pulling up to check out over here. We see that he's dropping walls. We're just kind of doing a little bit of damage on the spearman, kind of annoying him. And we can tell on eco count, I've got 25 at 26. So we've hindered him a little bit. I don't know if we killed any vills or not, but the little bit of errors that we had, it looks like it also affected him as well from the pressure. So we're doing a little bit of damage here. We're not going to stop him in time. He doesn't fully build this wall. I didn't realize this until later on. And his scout survives. And our con could have stayed here and continued peppering, but we did pull it back. And we are starting to produce Mangudai. We got wheelbarrow, and our TC is idle. There we go, it's going again. So we had a lot of idle time on our TC, unfortunately. A lot of mistake in that. The plus side is we're so heavy on wood, we're producing constant infrastructure at this point. So we got 2 archery ranges up, double producing Mangudai. I knew he was cranking out spearmen. We see the horsemen. So we know that the correct response, or what's going to help us really leverage this, is going to be Mangudai. And we see his forces that were coming up and pushing us, so we're just mirroring and falling back. Since he had been raiding our infrastructure earlier, we figured that he was coming in again for this. And again, we got plenty of wood again. We pull 8 villagers down onto D. And our Mangudai just kind of kite here while our horsemen are doing a little bit of chasing. We accidentally group all of these guys together. That's why they look like they're... Oh, that's why they're grouping all together. So we separate them just now. We're trying to pick up the spearman. We don't want to get caught between the spearman and the horseman. We want to see the monk is solo. So by targeting him, we kind of force his spearman to... or his horseman to charge us. We're not able to close the gap, and we're able to kill out one of them. Again, producing to Mangudai. TC's gone idle again. So again, big mistake on that. And we sent our horseman up to do a little bit of distraction. We're burning up this wall up here and kind of forcing him to commit some troops. Scout is being produced to Mangudai. Mangudai being double produced, and no villager production again. At this point, he's got 33 eco, and we've got 29. So yeah, you can kind of tell where we're messing up our eco because we're both on 1 TC right now. So that's just us being sloppy with our play. 100% just our error. And yeah, TC is still idle. So this is huge mistakes being made. It's important to get these micro battles correct, but I have my TC hotkeyed on 4, so I don't even have to move this. I just have to hit the hotkeys. I'm just not checking my queue down here properly, it looks like. It's been almost like a full minute of no unit production for my TC, I feel like. That's really bad. 29 eco, 35. So we're just hampering our eco on our own right now for no good reason. So he's brought out a bunch of archers and he's got a decent mass. We can fight this with our Mangudai, like on a straight up fight. But I wanted to bring my my cav over and kind of help with it. So our cav is flanking around the back here. And they're diving on those archers. And our Mangudai are focusing down the spearmen. And our horsemen on the archer, so kind of force him to fall back here. He loses a pretty good amount of troops. And we finally get our TC going out. So now that we are nearly 10 villages behind, 8 villages behind, we're finally producing villagers again. So big mistake there. Being 8 villages behind at the 12-minute mark solely because of not paying attention to your TC queue is really bad. Like really, really bad. So and that's kind of why I felt like I was a little bit behind, and I can kind of see why now because I'm 8 villagers behind. So he's got a decent mass. I can't super push hard against this. He's got 6 archers, so I mean I can win a straight up battle right now with my Mangudai, but it's gonna be pretty costly. It might have been worth just to fight this and push it off, but I felt like I had so much wood resources banked up that I was gonna kind of slowly work towards a second TC here. I got tons of infrastructure. I've got 5 infrastructure buildings. He has 3. He's got 111, and he's got a scholar in one of them. So it's technically 4. So we sent some cav up north to kind of do some raids. We figured that he was either on these berries or these deer. So we're going to go do a little bit of distraction. Looks like the wolf is kind of attacking him too. Oh, we spot out a scholar here trying to cap a sacred site. That's a nice little pickup there. We're up to 9 Mangudai, which is a good amount. And he has 10 archers. So, I mean, we can still win this with our Mangudai. But the thing is, we want to dive and get onto them. But he's got a front line of spears. So that's where we're going to lose that fight if we overcommit. So, we're burning down this palace. That probably what triggers him to push us, to make us pull off of there. Our horsemen are able to pick up on these archers here, and for whatever reason I thought there was going to be more archers. So we didn't commit to this fight when we had a chance to. A little bit unfortunate there. He pulls villagers to try to build this wall up here, but we burned down in time. I didn't even realize that we had done this with our cavalry. I was doing other stuff. So we aggro him off of there and we pull back. Meanwhile, we're kind of microing over here. We kill a couple guys, but we're trading out, and it's just not going to be a really favorable fight for us until these spearmen pull too far ahead like this, because they screen for those archers so well. Like in a straight up swarm fight, this will be a pretty good trade for us. But it's that the spearmen, once a couple spearmen get in contact with the Mangudai, we're going to start losing numbers pretty fast. We keep committing to the Mangudai here. I felt like we had a decent number in comparison to him, and we were going to be able to contest him. In terms of military infrastructure, he's still only on one range, so we can definitely him. In that sense, we are raiding the back of his base now with his cav, get a little bit of bonus income for us, and we kind of push back his frontal assault here again. You know, he pulls his archers, and the sniper comp, but we are able to pick that guy off, and he's got 3 spearmen here, which are going to do a lot of damage to our horsemen. A little bit of miss micro there for sure. But we turn around and we're going to try to get over to this wall that my scout has been aggroing this whole time, which has been just going off in his ear. We pull all of our sheep villagers onto berries, and we're rallying more villagers onto berries here. Villager count, we're at 37, and he's at 40. So the difference is at 9 villagers, so somewhere in between here we've either forgotten a villager or that was that I was at earlier. So we'll do a good amount of damage on this wall. Unfortunately, we do lose a couple of horsemen in the process, but we wanted to get it burning, and we're going to just kind of keep rotating and distracting his army. We have a really nice Mangudai mass with 16 here, and honestly, we need to start raiding. We definitely could have fought this force up front. So a little bit unfortunate that we didn't push a little bit sooner with those guys. We do spot these villagers down here. So trade out those villagers, and then we're going to lose these horsemen, unfortunately. But we knew that there was a gap still here, so we're going to bring in our Mangudai. He is pushing us in the front here. Looks like he's just going to go for a sacred side capture, though. We don't have much military here. We are building more stables because we're getting ready to age up. And we have 22 villagers on food. Production is still going. We are building a tower over here. We're trying to build a tower over here as well. And bring over a Mangudai, and we hit this villager line. So villager, so he was at 48 eco. And we just we do a lot of damage to his eco here, like a lot of damage. He has no units at home. His military is on the sacred site. He's not pulling them back for whatever reason. And yeah, he was at 48 eco, so now he's at 34. So he's lost 15 guys already. And then we see this mass on the bears. So really devastating damage. He's trying to micro stuff at home, and he's forgetting his main army here. He'd pull back his archers. There are 12 of them. Again, this is definitely a fight we could have taken up front against that many archers and won it. But we're just killing a ton of villagers. So his eco count went from 48 to 7. And I mean, he's got a healthy military number at 30. At 30. We kill those villagers. We see these archers, so we're just going to rotate up. And we're just going to go rotate through his resource line again. Pick up a couple more on gold. Clearing out the wood that we knew there was wood. We knew that there's these berries and stuff up here. We're getting chased by spearmen. So he loses 32 villagers, which is huge. So he loses 66% of his villager force here. And at this point, we have now 45 eco, and we've more than taken advantage in terms of economy. We've built this over here. We have villagers idle on this food. Let's see what they do. I think I sent them over to wood. And we pulled out our Mangudai here. We're teching up to age 3. He's already age 3. But we just did so much eco damage, so he's definitely kind of recovering. He's burning us down over here while we're working on that. And he starts pushing us pretty heavy here. We lose a tower. We still have 4 stables, 5 ranges. We are dropping a tower, and we are producing a ton of wood. So again, we've been floating a lot of wood throughout this match, but now we've got enough, I think, to really drop a second TC. But as we're getting pushed here, I get kind of indecisive in terms of what I wanted to do. Our Mangudai come in, we do a little bit of damage here. Pull off the melee forces, which are doing the most damage to our eco. We're gonna drop a couple more stables. And we're just building horsemen. which is going to be enough to kind of push back these archers for sure. It might not be optimal until we get a good mass, but it is going to push them back. And there's a decent amount of spears here, but they're not. It's not so many spears we can't deal with it. We also have, we don't have a huge ball of Mangudai right now, and we're suffering on gold because of the transition. We're putting our new villagers onto gold, and we really wanted to get our Mangudai upgrade before fully committing these Mangudai against these archers again. I felt it would be just kind of a waste because it would be so much better once they're upgraded and will last a lot better, especially since they're weaker and we didn't go curl tie, so we're not going to really heal them very much. We're floating a ton of wood right now, so that's pretty bad on our part. And we're building this second TC with only 3 villagers. So it does get kind of stopped by this night raid. We don't notice this Lancer pushing us until a lot later. We are getting our veteran Mangudai upgrade right now. So we lose 3 villagers here. Rico now is at 50 and he is at 24. So he's trying to stabilize here. Let's see, he's on food over here. A little bit of food over there. Still collecting this front gold. And he's got villagers over here working on what was deer, I believe. I think it was deer. Yeah, it is deer. So we sent a horseman to deal with this. We put our villagers off of sheep to tap up the second TC, and he's burning down our tower here. And our second TC is not producing units, unfortunately, right now. So a little bit more of just mistake. Big thing is here, we do have a couple lancers mixed in, so we are going to be able to chew through this lancer a little bit easier. And he's got 7 archers, 2 monks. So this is just 100% run back to his base. He's not going to be able to fight us. And we're getting into our Yam network range with this tower just barely. So we take out a scholar. We're doing some good damage there. Our Mangudai's debuffed this sacred site over to the end. We could have sent them up and started scouting some of these food sources. Would have been a good move. And now our TC is online and producing units. Again, we got a ton of wood resources. Honestly, I could have gotten a 3rd TC. I could have gotten a 3rd TC and been perfectly fine in terms of my wood count. So, again, a little bit of mistakes on my part. I do notice my scout aggro's on this hole in the wall onto these villagers, so we put over to start burning down the hole in the wall. Check out over here. I remember he sent some forces. It's not a super favorable matchup because of the spearmen. His monks fall back, so we don't commit to staying. We're just kind of scouting on the map with our manga, trying to get some picks. Running down our tower here, which I don't really like. And villagers finished this step readout. And we're just bringing over our forces over here to deal with this. Unfortunately, my Mangudai aren't committed to this fight. They probably could have been. So yeah, they finally rotate. We have queued up a couple of towers. We do have a monk picking up relics, and we're pushing back his army again. Let me get a vision of his comp. He's going crossbowmen and more knights. So we drop our defense out here, so our guys a little bit sturdier, especially since we have such weak Mangudai. Some of them have like literally no HP left, and this is just mostly just me doing stuff on the other side of the map and not paying attention here. So finally refocus our attention. We are going to lose this shaman to this wolf. We do have another shaman coming out though. We haven't gotten our faster building movement speed yet, so that readout is still on its way. And we're just trying to reestablish a foothold here on the sacred site. I don't know if he can see me. Okay, so he can't see me. He's getting constant pings over here, which is annoying for him. But we're massing up our army here. We're building more horsemen, and we're building these towers out of sight from the sacred site. And that's also why we're not decapping it. I didn't want them to push us until we had a couple towers up. And we do see him on the way, though. So we have a decent force here. We got 7 Mangudai, and he has 5 crossbows, a lancer, 1 horseman, 3 spears, 2 archers, 2 scholars, and a man-at-arms. We got a pretty balanced army here. We just kind of garrison our villagers, pull our horsemen back so our Mangudai can get some damage in. And now you can tell that the spearmen are going to aggro onto our horsemen. We just send them on a shift-click loop around, follow our Mangudai up behind it, and our horsemen are going to chase those archers, and they were aggroed onto the archers. Behind this, in terms of this fight, we knew we were pretty much going to win this. Even if the lancers cleaned us up, we were going to clean up the archers. We're going to deter this second TC drop with the Mangudai. And he loses a villagers there. We are at 58 eco. So he's actually kind of closed that gap surprisingly well without having a second TC. Yeah, he's dropping it up here now. We are going to start building this tower, hopefully. And we're just looking around, trying to find some raiding spots here with a Mangudai. Drop off our second relic. A monk is heading over to capture the sacred site. And archer's just going to get killed real quick. Villagers still idle. These villagers down here. Oh yeah, I built a couple of towers. I'm going to garrison these villagers in these towers. Since there's 8 of them, I didn't want to micro deal with the board. So he's going to kill that, and then we'll be able to take that out. Shaman are running around, so getting chased by this guy. We are dropping an Uvu a little bit late. We've been out of Uvu production for a while now. These guys are like 4. And kind of really established map control here at this point. We have used up a lot of our wood resources in pastures. We have 30 out of 30 sheep right now, which is good. And unfortunately is not producing units. So this is just a thing that I was doing throughout this whole match. I was just not producing units with my my TC. So now that I've got 2 of them, it's even worse. But we did find a good way to start using our wood. Let's use workshop. We are going to move our prayer chant over here and reposition our scholar to come over here as well. Plenty of gold. And finally producing villagers again. And our infrastructure hasn't, in terms of military infrastructure, hasn't changed too much. 4 ranges, 5 stables. We are sending these Mangudai up to raid. There are 13 of them. I think he messaged me right around this point. Why haven't you killed me yet? I don't know. I'm sure we'll hear something in the. It makes a noise, but doesn't show it. This scout accidentally clicked in to attack, it looks like. Being killed by that lancer, but over here on the backside, we filter our Mangudai through, and we're just checking here, checking the stone, checking the gold, and then we did know there was a berry patch up there. I thought it would be done. I didn't think he would. Here I'm checking these gold resources, but I didn't think he would be going. He would still be on that berries, but it doesn't hurt to check. So checking, and sure enough, he's got 15 villagers on it. We lose a couple guys. We sent a small raid of like 3 horsemen to go burn down that mill for some resources. Yeah, here again, we kill a bunch of villagers. Our eco's at 67, and his eco's at 31. So, his eco's been kind of maxing around 40 villagers after that. That one big raid in Castle Age. So we're coming down through here. We see the tower elf, and he's going to do quite a bit of damage to us. But more importantly, we see his TC. So we get a little bit of a raid. I don't think we're able to pick up any villagers, but we do stop the third TC from coming up immediately. We see his army, it's not very big. And then we do see this army over here. So I probably could have been more aggressive at this stage. Started really pushing. It's just sometimes, like, when I have a really good lead, I like to maintain it and just like full on like constrict him. We're picking up our fourth relic here. So like for him to push us at this stage, pretty much impossible. I mean, like, you can. I mean, it's definitely possible, but kind of has to do this like triple TC boom and try to fight us that way. He has garrison one relic. Let's see if he keeps building this third TC. I don't know if he's got villagers idle somewhere or not. Anywho, we send our horsemen up and around to go raid some of these buildings. We're dropping towers onto this sacred site, and I honestly felt the golds on my side of the map were pretty dangerous. I guess this was kind of a safe gold, this one, but they're pretty close to midfield. I think he had a little bit better safe golds than I did, but didn't really matter. So we're gonna burn this. We got 2 spring one emplacements, so we got this pretty well defended up here. We are dropping this tower. Fiskal is gonna cap, but after we've dropped this tower, we're gonna get his presence off of there, and we're also sending a scholar over there, or a shaman, whatever. I can't remember if he's on the way or not. So we've got our siege coming out now, so that's chewing up our wood production finally, which is nice. And you can tell we are banking up a lot of food and gold, so we can tech up to imp. Back here, he pulls a pretty good amount of forces to fight us. We're just going to sacrifice our horsemen here. I probably could have pulled my knights and actually won this. But we just pull our knights, sacrifice our horsemen. It probably would have made more sense to leave our knights to fight this and possibly win this. And have our horsemen burn this down, because they would have burned it down faster. But we're just trying to get a little bit of resource, do a little bit of harass. Oh, he's over on this mining camp, so that's a cool move. I didn't even notice that. I was wondering where he was getting gold from. I thought he would have taken the gold up front, so kind of a ballsy move. Oh yeah, so right now he messages me. You've been booming for so long. Why don't you just push and kill me? And I told him I don't think I can. I might have been able to. A lot of exposure. He doesn't have a lot of military. We probably could have actually. It's just once you push, you are hyper committed. I guess, I don't know. If your push doesn't go successful, you're really exposed for a counterattack. But either way, that he's starting to build a keep. Our army probably could have fought this and pushed it back. I honestly didn't really care about the keep or not. We were just gonna get traps either way. It probably would have been a really good play to push these mangonels out. You can tell they're kind of a little bit glitchy and they get kind of stuck. We're pulling these villagers that were on boar. Yeah, these are the boar villagers over to our step readout. Step readout has moved forward, and we're dropping outposts. Yeah, he's getting some good gold from this lane over here. So drop the keep. He's getting boiling oil. We're getting our first treb out. Mangudai getting upgraded to elite. And we're way ahead at this point. Let's see player score. Yeah, we're way ahead at this point. We probably could finish and end here. We didn't have to stay, I guess, this long, but it just kind of secures the victory this way. And we're rotating all of our wood line over to these other 2 big juicy wood lines. And our villa production once again has stalled out. So we're at 87 eco. So that's not It really isn't the best. Um, Towers here. We have capped this sacred site. I believe we're sending a monk. Yeah, this monk's gonna come down here and then it's gonna go up. We also have double blacksmith because we wanted to get all the upgrades. Over here, we have another Springle Tower, well, two Springle Towers and a third Springle Tower. And he kind of harasses our forces here. And we're just kind of staying out of castle range. The Springold here is shooting our army. He probably could have sniped a Mangonel by now. Yeah, it's too sniped a Mangonel. We do notice and we do pull our Springolds. But second trap is here, so yeah, he kind of knew that it was over. Just GG's out of it, so it was a good match. That really big raid in Castle Age is what really equalized everything for us. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.